Namaste. Good evening. Welcome to Swami Vivekananda Yoga Kendra for the lecture session. This week we are celebrating the lecture week in connection with the International Yoga Day. So we'll start with three prayers, three Omkaras. For that, sit comfortably, keeping your back and neck erect. Put the palms on your knees, chin parallel to the floor, and very gently close your eyes and just observe your breathing. For Omkar, take a deep breath. Gently start. Inhale. Inhale. Very slowly and very gently open your eyes. You can sit relaxed. So welcome all of you to Swami Vivekananda Yoga Kendra. This session, the evening session, or we had earlier morning sessions also, was initiated after the COVID pandemic, when it started last year. It was started by Dr. Jagdish Naik, who is there with us today. He's there most of the days. So under the guidance of him, we had started this initiative to the masses, to bring the yoga practices to the masses. Suddenly it was all shut down and, people were confused what to do. So this session, this free sessions really brought a lot of change. They could be engaged in something, bringing good health and, good harmony with their mind and body and within the family too. This helped in bringing that closeness with everyone. Sir is practicing at Sector 1. He is an acupuncturist, you must be knowing, and a healer. He has a practicing clinic at Sector 1, Vashi. Recently, he was anointed as Yogi Satya Chaitanya at Pondicherry under the Swami Vidyanand. That is about our founder and vice president of Swami Vivekananda Yoga Kendra. Today is the second day of our, the lecture week. What we had started with in connection with the International Yoga Day. So today the speaker with us is Sharwani Upadhyay Kanetkar. We welcome you, ma'am. A short brief about her, her profile. So Mrs. Sharwani ji is an architect by profession, and from Pune University she had graduated. But as she graduated and came to know about yoga and the unusual experience of the glimpses of higher energies, led her to pursue a PG diploma in yoga education from Kaivalya Dhama Yoga Institute located at Lonavala. Her passion is to spread the wisdom and the subtle practices of yoga, which brings about the internal transformation in an individual, and eventually it brings towards the society too. Currently associated with ARCIS to assist and spread the authentic knowledge of yoga through creating a meditative experience of the theoretical philosophies. And she hopes it really transforms everyone, those who are coming associated with her. We welcome you, ma'am, to the Swami Vivekananda Yoga Kendra. She will be talking about the Panchakoshas today. So listen to her carefully and try to understand the Panchakoshas. Yeah? Welcome, dear ma'am. Welcome. Warm welcome to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Over to you. You can start.
Yeah. Namaste to all. Welcome to the online International Yoga Week 2021. I hope you all are safe, your families are safe. So thank you, ma'am, for such kind introduction. I'm grateful to Swami Vivekananda Yoga Kendra and Prajnanam Brahma Institute for giving me this opportunity to share my experience and little knowledge that I have gained during this pandemic and lockdown diaries, which has kept me sane and helped me evolve and keep progressing undoubtedly because of the practice of yoga. So by yoga, I not only mean asanas, but all the aspects that we saw yesterday in Mr. Durgadas Sawant's introductory session on what is yoga and what it is not. So he very wonderfully illumined us all by his knowledge and years of experience in this field. So I'm very fortunate to have come in contact with Dr. Jagdish Naik. Connecting with him was like a telepathy experience for me. This happened when I was seeking for more deeper aspects of yoga and its techniques, is when the universe heard me and helped me to find Jagdish sir. So thank you, sir, for supporting and motivating the youths like us to do some contribution in the field of yoga. He has been a very enthusiastic and an energetic mentor who is always ready to help me find solution to my doubts. So I hope to grow under his guidance and blessings. My gratitude to you, sir. My gratitude to my family, my masters, and my guides. I'm glad to see all the participants who have joined for the session today. Thank you for joining, and I welcome you all. Today, I will be talking about Panchakosha. Am I clear enough? Just to check.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, my topic is about Panchakosha. My aim has been to simplify yet reach the essence of the yogic concepts as per my understanding and experience. There are many advanced practitioners here who might have experienced and understood this topic quite in detail. So I request you all to consider this as a basic guideline or guidance and do read more about it in detail for the beginners to understand the subject more in detail if you find it interesting. So before going into the technicalities of what Panchakosha is, I will be putting out few statements and I request every one of you to check if it relates with you. It might be relevant in one of the phases of your life. Okay, so the first statement is, I look a little weak and dehydrated. I think I should have some food. Okay, then the second statement, I ate so much, I feel so heavy and breathless. I feel something like acidity. I'm not comfortable. I think there is some digestion issue. I'm unable to sleep well. I'm unable to breathe. Then the next statement. Now I feel guilty of having done overeating. I wish I could have controlled a bit. How stupid am I? In spite of knowing the consequences, I did this stupidity. Why did God give me this stomach and hunger? I won't eat only for 1 or 2 days now. Right? This is what happens with most of us. Now the fourth statement. Let me see how can I resolve this. Yeah. So, okay, my research says that I need to reset and reprogram my mind, my routine, and my food habits through various methods which I have read or consulted. Now, the last statement. Finally, I now feel light and energetic after all the efforts. I've become so efficient and peaceful. I can't describe the happiness and peace that I experience. I suppose most of us have experienced all of the above. So let's understand and decode these statements and how it's relevant with today's talk. So very simple idea came across today in my mind, looking at the rains, was that how does rain manifest? Yeah, we can only experience the manifested rain, but we are unaware of the water cycle process that takes place throughout rest of the months. We cannot see literally the vapor rising up, right? The earth getting heated. So similar is the concept of Panchakosha. We only experience a disease when it manifests at the physical level, but we never think of from where did it travel and get manifested to the physical level. So in maximum cases, it starts from our mind, which is the origin of all thoughts, emotions, stress, anxiety, which we never cater to or manage properly, which then results in the disease at physical level. The concept of Panchakosha is explained beautifully in Taittiriya Upanishad. So kosha is a Sanskrit term which means sheaths or layers. Panchakosha means 5 sheaths. Now arises a question, what are 5 sheaths? Why is it even relevant? Right? So tell me one thing. Do we all believe that we exist? Give me a thumbs up for the people whose videos are on, right? We all believe that we exist, right? So obviously I have a physical body. I can see, touch, hear, taste, and smell. I have thoughts, I have emotions, experiences. Therefore, I do exist. So you might feel, why are you asking this? So here comes the starting point of the concept of Panchakosha. How do I know that I exist? So Taittiriya Upanishad says we have 5 layers of existence. So if I consider the first statement where I mentioned that I look a little weak, from what did I decide that I'm looking weak? From my physical appearance, from my body, which forms the first layer, that is the Annamaya Kosha, which is the food sheath. So our physical body is made up of the food, the nutrition that we provide. Even before the birth, the fetus which is formed grows inside the womb because of the nutrition that is provided by the mother's food intake. So practicing asana, concept of mitahara, shuddhi kriyas will take care of the Annamaya Kosha, cleansing this Annamaya Kosha. This kosha has been described further in depth, that how do we even transcend this kosha. But we will be understanding the basics only today. So let's move to the second statement. How could I feel uneasy post overeating? Did we ever think of it? What disturbed the systems in my body? Why was there a feeling of acidity or sleeplessness? So the disturbing factor which caused all this is the prana. Prana is the vital energy responsible for all the activities that functions in our body and in the universe. It's a very, very broad concept to understand. So because of the overeating or wrong eating or balanced eating, the prana either gets disturbed or remains in harmony. Just see, when you have had a lighter diet during the day, you will feel very light, you will have a quality sleep. So that is because you have taken care of your Annamaya Kosha, right? That because of which the Pranamaya Kosha is also in balance. So this layer is known as Pranamaya Kosha. So hence practicing pranayama, breathing techniques will balance this kosha by taking the prana to every corner of the body and activating the prana which is dormant within the Annamaya Kosha, thus harmonizing both the koshas, which is Pranamaya and Annamaya Kosha. Now the third statement. Third statement dealt with the feeling, the emotion aspect. Here comes the very important part. So where one feels guilty, happy, irritated, frustrated, or loved, cared, it is through the Manomaya Kosha one experiences these emotions. So it gets disturbed when the Annamaya and Pranamaya are out of balance, where one might end up overthinking, and Manomaya Kosha will be in balance if two koshas are taken care of, and vice versa, right? So most of us are stuck in this kosha most of the time, which is responsible for all the psychosomatic diseases, which are hypertension or say BP, respiratory ailments, or gastrointestinal disturbances, migraine, little tension headaches, pelvic pain, yeah, ulcers, even diabetes for that matter. But what we experience is only the disease at the physical level. Now you can relate this with the rain example I gave. So this kosha deals with the monkey mind and the senses, which needs a lot of inner work to understand its nature as well as to control them. So here the practice of yama, niyama, pranayama and pratyahara will help one to overcome the imbalance of this kosha, which can also help in the start with the reversal of these psychosomatic diseases. So for the people who are not aware of yama, niyama, pranayama, pratyahara, these are the limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. You can refer to Ashtanga Yoga in detail if you're interested in knowing about it. So now let's understand the fourth layer, which is responsible for rational thinking, wisdom, discriminative thinking, decision making. So this layer is known as Vijnanamaya Kosha. The feeling of me and mine and the faculty of intelligence and reasoning, this constitutes the fourth or the Vijnanamaya Kosha. The feeling of freshness that I had a deep sleep is said to arise from this kosha. Okay. So in the fourth statement that we saw, where after some rational analysis, one comes to a conclusion that what action will be suitable to solve the problem which one is facing, right? Here, one has now developed the attitude of problem solving rather than cribbing about it. So one develops this attitude, then he will find the ways and explore different methods to solve the given problem, which will help him eventually to evolve. So if the three other koshas are disturbed, then undoubtedly this Vijnanamaya kosha will also be disturbed. So this kosha can be strengthened by the practice of dharana, that is the concentration technique, and dhyana, that is meditation in modern language. Now comes the next kosha. The blissful state that one experiences takes birth from the Anandamaya kosha, which is the fifth layer of our existence. So in the example that we saw, when a patient is finally allowed to eat certain foods that were otherwise restricted, gives an immense bliss to that person. Okay, now I can eat at least one gulab jamun, right? So this is not only with respect to food. For instance, a person who is able to walk post recovery from an accident, or the bliss that parents experience on the birth of a child. Similarly, anything in your life which gives you a feeling of bliss from within instantly. You can relate to khushi ke aasu. So this is experienced through this kosha, which is the Anandamaya kosha. So through the disciplined practice of Ashtanga Yoga, concepts like Ishwar Pranidhana, that is surrendering to the supreme reality, one can be in the state of bliss no matter what he or she may face. Okay. So let's quickly recall the 5 layers of existence, which are Annamaya Kosha, that is the food body. Second is Pranamaya Kosha, that is the energy body. Third is Manomaya Kosha, that is the mind body. Fourth is Vijnanamaya Kosha, that is the intellect body. And last one is Anandamaya Kosha, that is the bliss body. The fact here is that every layer is interdependent on each other. Just like the concept which says that weight is directly proportional to force. If the weight is less, the force is also less. And if the weight is more, then the force is also more. Similarly, if any of the koshas get disturbed or loses its balance, it affects the other koshas too. So if you are disturbed emotionally, that means your Manomaya kosha is disturbed. This will directly impact your Pranamaya kosha, as the prana will not be then freely moving in your Annamaya kosha due to some emotional stress. Further, this will cause an impact on your systems like digestive system, respiratory system, excretory system. So you might have observed that people start getting stomach cramps or have a digestion disorder when in chronic stress or under tension, like while appearing for some exam or interview. So this is because of the disturbances in the Manomaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha. Now, when these koshas are disturbed, definitely what will happen in the interview, you might tend to get blank, right? Because your Vijnanamaya Kosha also gets affected. So ultimately, you cannot experience the blissful state. Thus, the Anandamaya Kosha also gets disturbed. So similarly, if one kosha is disturbed, then the other are disturbed. If one kosha is balanced, then rest of the koshas are taken care of. So medical science gives you a diagnosis at the Annamaya Kosha level only. So for us to diagnose ourselves that why do I have pain in the knee or in the head, we should have the knowledge of these koshas so that we can correct the issues at the mind level itself before it percolates down to the Annamaya Kosha. Today, research and science is advancing in diagnosis at these levels also based on the concept of Panchakosha. So just like X-ray for the physical body diagnosis, there are tools and machines which diagnose your aura. So aura are the layers of vibrations and electromagnetic particles that you emit around and within yourself. So it surrounds your outer body as well as the inner body and the inner organs. So these tools do give you an analysis of your energies. You can read about it more in detail on internet if interested. So now, as per the Vedantic teachings, let's see how Vedanta explains Panchakosha. So in Taittiriya Upanishad, these koshas are explained with the reference to realize our true self. But since we are covered with these layers of existence, we get identified to them so much so that we start feeling that this is the only reality. My body, my mind, my intellect, my emotions, everything associated with I, me, mine, we start considering that this is the only reality. And therefore, we fail to understand our true nature because we never surpass our ego. Ego here means identity. Identity with our own self, with our body, with our property, whatever. Even our senses are our identity. So it's very wonderfully explained in the scriptures, which says that we are not any of these layers of existence, but consciousness. Aham Brahmasmi. I am the pure consciousness, pure bliss. But how do we realize this? It's through working on these layers to bring about a balance in these layers through the yogic practices like Ashtanga Yoga, Kriya Yoga. There are various paths of yoga. You can identify whichever suits you, then practice it consistently. Tat pratishedartham ekatattva abhyasa. As Patanjali ji says, that to know your true self and overcome all the obstacles while doing the same, consistent and dedicated practice of one principle is the key. So attending to one principle, that one principle could be God, could be a matter, it could be guru, could be self, could be anything that you admire and which gives you some good energies. So all that we have learned today is beautifully described in the Nirvana Shatakam Stotra, which is recited by young Adi Shankaracharya when he was asked by a saint to introduce himself. Note it down and go through its meaning once. It's called Nirvana Shatakam. It's one of my favorites too. So today we will be practicing one technique out of many, which will help you to balance these koshas and remove the impurities of mind, which will ultimately help you to know and experience your true self as you practice consistently. So Annamaya Kosha can be taken care by regular exercise, balanced food intake, and a holistic living. Pranamaya Kosha can be taken care by the practice of pranayama along with taking care of your physical body, like exercise and healthy balanced food intake. We will proceed ahead with working on the Manomaya Kosha, as most of us today are stuck here and all the stress, tension, problems, emotions, negativity emerges from this kosha. So when we work on our mind and bring it under control, I'm not saying that we get rid of unwanted emotions and stress, but we become able enough to handle them and manage them without letting it consume us, and be efficient, which will then help us gain clarity about Vijnanamaya Kosha and ultimately lead one towards the blissful state, that is Anandamaya Kosha. So we will be practicing Sakshi Bhavana technique. This means which involves only witnessing, where breath also should be witnessed and not forced. While doing so, we come across many thoughts, emotions, and feelings. So when you involve with the breath, you tend to involve in your thoughts. So all you have to do is withdraw yourself from taking the efforts of breathing. You have to be aware of breathing, but you have to withdraw yourself from the efforts. So you just let the breathing happen, and automatically you will come to know that you are out of the room of thoughts, that is your mind. So your mind is your room full of thoughts. We have to come out of it. So let's begin. Just observe your thoughts before starting the practice and post the practice is over. So one technique works for many aspects. I generally stick to breath awareness, then recitation of Omkara, that is the universal sound, or any mantra that works for you, then observing its resonance at the Annamaya and Pranamaya Kosha, which I've learned from Dr. Jagdish Naik. And then I combine it with a dharana technique, that is a concentration technique mentioned in Gherend Sahita, which is a yogic text written by Gherend Muni. So he specifies concentration on the favorite god in the heart region, which works on your Manomaya Kosha, as it is the center of all your emotions and feelings, right? So I request you all to just keep your videos on so that we have good energy flow. For the ones whose cameras are off, I kindly request you to please switch on your cameras. And see to it that you're in a comfortable position, because it might take around 30 minutes. Okay. So ready, all of you? Let's give our 100% in this 30 minutes today and experience what changes you feel post the practice. So sit in any comfortable position and gently close your eyes. Relax all your facial muscles. Relax your eyes completely and have a pleasant smile on your face. Do not open your eyes unless instructed. Now we will be practicing some deep breathing along with my counts. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Now place your right hand on your abdomen and observe the abdominal movements as you breathe in. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Now bring your attention to the movement of your chest region. Move your right hand on your chest. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Now bring your attention to your collarbone and upper back. Move your right hand towards the collarbone, located under your neck near your shoulders. Breathe in front of you, under your neck. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Now place your right hand on the abdomen and left hand on the chest. And try to observe the transition of the movement of your breath, which starts from your abdomen to your chest, to your collarbone and upper back. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. You may release your hands back on your knees. Face your palms towards the ceiling. Keep observing the breath and let the breathing be normal. Let it happen on its own. Do not force. Just close your eyes and be with yourself. Now we will be chanting Omkara. First, we will individually chant the Akara, Ukara and Makara and observe its resonance within the body. Experience where you feel its resonance. Starting from Akara, first you can listen to me. Inhale. Now you all can chant with me. Keep your voice a little heavy to feel the resonance. Breathe in. Another round. Breathe in. Last round. Now feel the resonance near your abdominal region. Inhale. You might observe its sensations near the navel or the abdominal region. Now let's chant Ukara. That is who. Inhale. Chant along with me. Inhale. Inhale. Might have observed the resonance of Ukara in your chest region. Now let's start and chant Makara. Inhale. You can either chant ma or simply inhale. One last time, and this time observe the resonance in your head region. Might have observed some sensations in your head and face region. Now chanting Akara, Ukara and Makara together, that is Om. Feel the respective resonance in the navel, chest and head region as you chant A, U and Ma. When you chant Om, breathe in. Om. Feel the transition of the resonance from your navel up to your head region. Another round. Breathe in. Last round. Breathe in. Now chant the Omkara in your mind for 3 more times and connect with its resonance. Feel the resonance of the sound Omkara as you chant in your mind. After completing the last round, just be in the present and feel the sensations all over your body from head to toe. Relax the entire body gradually. Observe the sensations in the entire lower body from your toes till your waist. Completely relax the lower body and feel the resonance of Omkara slowly spreading in your upper body. Completely relax from your waist up to your shoulders. Feel the relaxation. Relax your neck, your face, your forehead, your entire facial muscles, your ears, and the entire head region. Observe the sensations moving down to your arms, to your elbows, your wrists, and palm. Relax them completely. Relax and let go. You might feel that your body is filled up with sensations. You are now your sensations. Observe it all over. The resonance you feel within and around you is your Pranamaya Kosha. You are experiencing the Pranamaya Kosha. Be with this prana and feel it spreading and expanding in every cell of your body and all around you. Let the thoughts come if there are any. Simply observe them. Do not entertain any thought, just witness them. All kinds of thoughts are born and created in the Manomaya Kosha. Experience the lightness. Let the thoughts float in the air and evaporate. Let your real self reveal to you. Let the pure bliss be revealed. Some of you might still be struggling with thoughts. Absolutely fine. Don't force to stop them. Just keep bringing back your attention to your breath. Now, in this state of relaxation, take your attention to the chest region. Observe the movement of your chest as you breathe. Feel the expansion in chest as you breathe in and contraction as you breathe out. Take a few seconds to observe this region. Dive in a little deeper and observe the heart within. Feel the heart rate, feel the beating of your heart. Observe how this heart rate is becoming subtler and smoother as you maintain your attention in the heart region. Let the breathing be natural and as smooth as possible. Do not force your inhalation and exhalation, but maintain your attention to your heart. Contemplate now on your emotions at this moment. Is there any pain? Is there any hurt or hatred? Is there any jealousy? Just observe and let them pass. These are very natural emotions. There's nothing wrong in being jealous or in being hurt or being in pain. Just let it go. Let go of all the pleasures, honors, pain, humiliation, jealousy, hatred, all kind of emotions. Just let go. Don't get involved in these emotions. Just observe. You're only the observer of your life. You're observer of the situations and conditions. Just like you're watching the movie of your own life and the present moment. Your body is just the tool of experiencing life. Your soul is the experiencer. Go deep within this experiencer and be here for a few moments. Observe the true nature of this experiencer. Feel the silence, feel the space as you go deeper. Your mind and your heart are the tools of emotions, your thoughts, which is the Manomaya Kosha. Observe this space as all the emotions settle down gradually. There is absolutely nothing in this space. Feel the expansion as you breathe in, and feel how the space spreads in all the directions as you breathe out. Feel this infinite space and energy within, expanding in all directions, starting from your right, spreading in front, moving to your left, spreading to your back. It's all around you. This infinite space is peaceful. It's calm and silent. Now let's chant the Bij mantra of heart chakra, keeping your attention on the heart region. Chant with me. The Bij mantra here is Yam. Inhale. Yam. Inhale. Yam. You can feel the resonance in the heart chakra. Inhale. Yam. Feel the vibration passing through your throat to your heart region. You will feel a very soothing vibration in this space, which is the Anahatanada, the unstruck beautiful sound of the universe within. Do not try to listen, it's there within. Be in this space and it will come to you. Feel the bliss here. You will start feeling something good, something peaceful in this state. Experience this state of purity, just like the infinite ocean spread all over, and feel the peace. Go further deep in this state, and here now we meditate upon your favorite form of God or Guru or person that you admire. Or if you're a non-believer in the form, you can meditate upon the universal energy in the form of light or flame. Observe the form of the chosen deity or Guru or flame. Be with this form. Observe the appearance, the hands, legs, eyes, the clothes or the colors, the weapons, for example, trishul or dagger. Feel the vibrant halo or aura spread around the deity. Or if you are observing the flame, just see how the light is spread all around. Keep observing. Those meditating on the light, observe the tip of the flame, the stability and uniformity of it. Keep looking within and feel its warmth and energy in this heart region. Meditate with your chosen deity or flame in silence for a few minutes. Just you and your God or your Guru or the flame. Feel the love, light, warmth, energy, and compassion flowing to you and in every cell of your body. Every cell of your body is vibrating with this universal energy. You're now becoming one with the energies of your God, the flame within, and the flame you're meditating upon is merging. Feel this beautiful and blissful union. You have now become one with this supreme reality. You feel like dancing, maybe hugging or singing, or simply be in silence. Thank Him for your existence. Here, some of you might feel the experience of bliss. Feel this Anandamaya Kosha as you transcend from the Manomaya and Vijnanamaya Kosha. You're completely united with this supreme reality. By transcending all the koshas, you realize your true self. Feel this divinity flowing in abundance. You are a divine being. You are a unique being. The entire universe and divinity is within you, and you are the universe. You are in oneness with the nature around. Feel this oneness. You see yourself in all and all within yourself. In this space, seek the guidance that you have been seeking in the external world. All the answers are coming to you effortlessly, as all the answers are hidden within you. You are the creator of your life. Be thankful to yourself, to the God, Guru, or light, your parents, your ancestors, or the person you admire for being there to guide you and bless you today and forever. Thank, forgive, and spread love to each and everyone who is a part of your existence. With this feeling of gratitude, positive energy, forgiveness, and compassion, very slowly come back to your body. Slowly bring back your awareness to your breath and body. Feel the carpet or the chair you are sitting on. Feel the air on your skin. Feel the space around you. Observe your breath flowing in and flowing out. Give gentle movements to your fingers, your feet, to your eyes. And with this experience of union and silence within, gently let your eyes open. Welcome back. I hope you all liked and could connect with today's session. For the beginners, if you were not able to do it properly, don't worry. With the regular and consistent practice, you will definitely feel the energies. Would anyone like to share the experience?
Madam, it was a fantastic experience, and I don't have enough words to describe really. And I was actually completely entranced when you asked me to be with the infinite thing and to come back to the heart chakra and to chant that yam. Was a little bit difficult because I was losing your instructions at that time. But nevertheless, when I came, the resonance was excellent. And this merger with my Guru Kanchi Shankaracharya was really wonderful. And I didn't want to come back, and really the heartbeats and other things were not there, and I could feel.
Wonderful.
And all I should be. I'm very grateful. You have a mesmerizing voice, if I can use the word.
Thank you, sir, for always motivating me and sharing your experience.
And I have attended earlier also your sessions, and I had them. So I would like to only reiterate that you have got a wonderful voice to guide people who are not in the meditative mood, like ordinary people like me. Also take to that.
No, so we are blessed to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was a wonderful experience, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
You were so soothing and so healing. And we just don't know where all we have gone. It's so wonderful of
Thank
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
When you kindly said to forgive and to thank everybody and all, no, it really came genuinely because I don't think I've done that very often. Genuinely, yeah. I have attended
it's always
earlier also, but this was really wonderful. Thank you, ma'am.
Nice. Thank you. It's always the will of your soul to experience this journey as it. Thank you for attending.
Thank you, Sharmani, very much. Actually, when we started, I feel very afraid or very heaviness in my heart. But as it's going smoothly and I was experiencing wonderful, blissful. After a long time, I'm feeling that. I can I can't express my feelings, but my eyes are started watering actually. I don't know how to explain that.
That's really nice.
Thank you so much.
You're getting comfortable with your own emotions.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, even I had a similar experience, like I felt very happy. And then I started crying.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Just be with this experience. Do not indulge in any emotions. Drink lots of water. This is the purification process happening. Yeah.
Sharwani, this was a wonderful experience.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kaka.
I'm very proud of you, your this achievement, and you are in the right place for the benefit of the whole universe. Wish you all the best, ma.
Lots
Very,
of blessings.
very,
Thank you.
you are meant for this. I think.
Thank you, Kaka. Thank you so
Very
much.
good.
Thank you for attending.
I would like to thank all of you for participating here in this wonderful program and the divine journey from Bhavani. It was a wonderful journey. And you can share your experience also in the group. No issues. And if you have any questions, anybody, any doubts, you can go ahead. Also share your experience. And Shavani is there here to clear your doubts. So if anybody is having any questions.
Under your guidance.
Anybody else? Yes.
Anyone? Yeah.
It was a wonderful experience. Thank you, Shivani ma'am. It was very nice and very sweet. Your voice.
Thank you, Pranjali ma'am.
Amazing.
Thank you, Sharwani.
You just go in trance altogether.
Thank you.
It's lovely. Just didn't want to come out of it, but now I said I should tell that the feeling was very nice.
It's all happening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a nice experience, Sharwani.
खूप छान झालं शर्वाणी मस्त प्राऊड ऑफ यू
Thank you.
Very nice, Sharwani. It's amazing experience after a long time. It's a wonderful experience. Thank you so much. I think you have achieved whatever you wanted in this pandemic situation, and your will and your hard work has led you to this kind of a stature. I'm very proud of you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Sharwani.
I think Aji wants to say something. काय म्हणायचं म्हणा तुम्हाला काय तुम्ही म्हणत होतात
निनगेन ಹೇಳೋದು ಅದ ಹೇಳಂತ
काय नाही आम्ही रविशंकर सांगितलेले ते करते मी रोज इंग्लिश मला कळत नाही त्याच्यामुळे थोडं काय येतं तेवढं साधना करून घेतली तर सर्वांनी काय सांगितली ते थोडं चक्राचं आसन कोश सगळं गांडीमध्ये असं पूर्ण मला कळतं छान झाला तिचं बोलणं सौम्य आणि चांगलं सांगितली सगळं थोडं समजतं तेवढं घेते
तुमचा आशीर्वाद राहू दे तुमचा आशीर्वाद राहू दे
आशीर्वाद आहे आशीर्वाद सगळ्याला आशीर्वाद
I thank my family.
Her words does not require any meaning. That is the translate. Mummy. Okay, आवाज soothing kada.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jagdish sir. So many times I couldn't follow all the sessions, but today I made it. So what I have lost, that all doubts I've lost, and what I have learned. Tomorrow somewhere I have to take a session for the workplace yoga. So I was thinking for the common general people, how I will tell them that the problem they're going through. So when ma'am started talking about kosha and the related problem, then I got my answer. So this is how tomorrow I can also relate to the common people, maybe without mentioning the pranamaya kosha and all these yogic, these names, I can relate them. So this is what I have learned. So I'm thankful to ma'am and to you for this instant teaching. Every time we are learning something or other, and especially your workshops, I have learned everything. I have learned so many things, sir, from your workshop. And for your information, I'm joining the Bhagavad Gita class. I have given you a reference.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you there.
Thank you. Thank you,
Both of us will see you there.
Thank you. Thank you, Nandini ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jagdish sir, for this great opportunity to reach out to so many people. Thank you so much.
I think Anilji want to say something.
Thank you, Sherwani. Congrats.
Thank you, Kaka.
हा मला ते मेसेज करता येत नव्हतं म्हणून
Nice, Sherwani. Like.
Thank you, Kaka.
It's so wonderful, ma'am. See the whole family coming and attending you. What else you need, you know? That is such a wonderful thing. And
Those are the blessings.
yes, exactly. And as everybody said, more than anything, the soothing voice led to that ultimate achievement, you know. And as you want that you can reach to the masses, and whatever you feel, no, you can change the people, their thoughts, their attitude, you know, come out of the egos and everything. It was really wonderful.
She is also very fond of Nirvana Shatakam. She has posted me a video. With her permission, I will post it in the group. If you give me the permission. A wonderful video where she is doing her Bharatnatyam in Nirvana Shatakam. Beautiful video. I will put on the if the permission, if you give me, Sherwani.
Sir, definitely. No need of
I will post it. Yeah, I forgot actually to ask you. Anyway, today I just remembered now. You know, so I will post it, and you all can go through that video. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Just one thing I want to tell you, that you have started connecting to your Shishyas, or that is the main thing. If the students are not connecting to you, then there is no point to telling lot of things. So I feel you are connecting to your students or your Shishyas. That is the only point I want to tell.
And that is a very important part. That is a very important part. That is what is called as Guru Shiksha, Gurukul Shiksha.
Yes.
Which we are not having now in this modern era.
Yes. If you take a session for 1 hour, 2 hours, the people are not connecting to you, then there is no point.
Yes.
So she is also a yoga teacher. She is my Maushi.
Oh,
she's joining from Hyderabad.
Namaste. Hari Om. That is what we spoke today morning only, I think, Shravani, that how we have to be connected and what happens. And she has lost her energy now. So what she was before this, I will talk to you later on after the session is over, and what you should do also. And this is what it is. So it's very important for all our gurus, all teachers, what we are giving, what we have got here, you know, what the energy we are trying to. That is why she told you all to keep your videos on. So there will be some exchange of energy.
Yes.
Divine energy.
Very true.
And it is not very easy, my dear friends. It is not so easy. It requires a lot of practice, a lot of sadhana. What she has done from her childhood, and that hard work, as her Kaka told, that hard work has been shown today. So it was a very nice session. So all the best to you all. I always in my lectures, when I take in the yoga instructor's course, I tell my students, it is not about the books. Books are kept for reference. It is in the shelf. But understanding yourself and then delivering it, that makes more sense. You have to be connected with your students also. It's very important.
Thank you, sir.
We'll have more sessions of Shavani when she's free. So let's see. Thank you so much, all of you, and God bless you.
Do join tomorrow's lectures.
Yes, tomorrow, by Pranjali madam, who's going to take on the 5 elements.
Okay.
Tomorrow at the same time, 6 o'clock. Please do join. She's here also with us, Pranjali Patil. Yeah. And, tomorrow we'll have a session. Another wonderful session tomorrow. So please try to invite your friends, families, make your children sit for these, you know, small workshops what we are doing, because it will give them a lot of, you know, the essence of making their living. तो जीना सिखा देंगे हम. इसके अगर ये मालूम होगा तो जीना उनका आसान हो जाएगा. They will not be in this competitive world, in this materialistic world, after this, you know, competition, all this. When they understand the funda of life.
Yeah.
So
actually,
yes.
People are taking yoga only on physical level.
Yes.
They just want to lose their weight and be fit and look good, but they don't understand what is impact. Actually, slowly they'll understand as the path goes. That is the most important thing. Don't take it as a physical level only. It is not only for weight reduction. Yoga is much more than that.
The World Health Organization, WHO, also has put in their quote now. It is not about mere absence of disease.
Yeah.
Spiritual well-being. The end is mentioned in that quote of theirs. So it is not only, as Jyoti ji said, it is not only absence of your disease. हमको पतला होना है, मोटा होना है, हमको दर्द हो रहा है, hypertension. No.
मेरे पास स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं, just they want to take, क्यों मेरे को योगा करना है, but ये करना है. As soon as I tell them to do yoga nidra, they don't want to do that.
That patience is not there.
Yes.
So once again, thank you all of you. Thank you, Vijay ji. Thank you all of you for this wonderful session.
Thank you very much.
Supporting all of us.
Thank you.
And the family of Shravani who attending this program, the whole family. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
All request. So one request.
Yes, please.
So today I could not join because I was attending another lecture.
Okay.
We could get a recording. So
yeah, we will try. Yes. I will tell Krutika madam to do something tomorrow.
Yeah.
Try to put it up.
Yeah.
We are too busy.